dreamforabetterworld.com. This is the third video in this series called Working with Basic Fractions. In case you missed the first two videos, you can get them free at www.adreamforabetterworld.com. You may also get my free workbook from there as well. If you do not have the workbook, please stop this video and get it free from www.adreamforabetterworld.com. This video does have prerequisites. You must know how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide numbers. You will need to know the vocabulary in the workbook, plus you should have finished the problems from the workbook covering the first two videos. Remember, it is never a good idea to learn new material until you are sure you are comfortable with the material you just learned. So please, finish those problems before continuing. If you have finished the prerequisites, then you are ready for this video. The workbook will help you a lot after you watch this video. So let's begin. This video will only cover the addition and subtraction of two fractions where one denominator is a multiple of another, like 1/4 plus 3/8. Note that 8 is a multiple of 4. So, what do you do when you have two fractions where one denominator is a multiple of the other? How do you add or subtract them? Take this problem for example, 1/4 plus 3/8. How do we add them? Easy. 8 is a multiple of 4, and it takes the number 2 to multiply by 4 to get 8. So multiply the 1/4 by 2/2 and we get 2/8. Then we just add 2/8 to 3/8 and get 5/8. Wait, you say, why did we multiply by 2/2 when all we need to do is get the denominators to be the same? It appears we just need to multiply the denominator by 2. Why can't we? Remember, if we just multiply by 1/2, we would change the value of the fraction. It would be worth 1/2 as much. What is 2/2? It is 1. So what happens when you multiply a number by 1? It remains the same. So by multiplying by 1, in this case 2/2, we did two things. 1, we did not change the value of the fraction. 2, we got both fractions to have the same denominator so that we can now add them. That was the most important reason, because in the first video we learned how to add fractions with the same denominator. We just keep the denominator the same and add the numerator. Here 2 plus 3 is 5, so we get 5/8. Let us try another problem. This one involves mixed fractions. First step is to notice that 42 is a multiple of 7. The second step is to find that multiple. It is 6, because when we multiply the 7 by 6, we get 42. So we need to multiply the 2/7 by 6/6. Important note, we only multiply the 2/7 by 6/6, not the 3. Do you understand why? Because 3 and 2/7 is the same as 3 plus 2/7. When adding the fractions, just need to make the fractions have the same denominator. The integer can be added at a later point. As we can see here, we multiply the 2/7 by 1, which in our case is 6/6. Then we get to 3 and 12/42, which we can add to our other fraction, -5 and 17/42. Now how did we get that answer? -2 and 5/42. One way is to put the fractions into improper fractions. That is my favorite way, but it may not be yours. 3 and 12/42 is the same as 138/42, and 5 and 17/42 is the same as 227/42. Then we just subtract and we get -89/42, which is the same as -2 and 5/42. Another way that my students like is adding the fractions and adding the integers. Here we take the 3 and subtract the 5. Then we subtract the fractions 12/42 and 17/42 and we get the same answer. Now let me show you why I do not like that way. What if that 17 was an 11? Look at the big difference it makes solving the problem. Notice we have -2, but we have positive 1/42. So we have to take some from the 2 in order to add them together. So how did we get -1 and 41/42? We have a couple ways that we learned from our previous videos. First way that I like is to change the 2 to 84/42 so we can add the fractions, then finally reduce. The second way is to change the 2 to 1 and 42/42, then add the fractions, then combine with the -1 to finally get -1 41/42. Please tackle that worksheet I have given you and try the problems a few different ways. Once you have solved all my problems, go back and create your own. Remember, to create your own problems, you just choose two fractions where one denominator is a multiple of another. The more you work on it, the better you will become, and also the faster you will become. Soon you will be able to look at these types of problems and just tell the answer without any written work. Of course, you should always show the work on your test, but in the real world, hopefully you will know how to do these problems without any difficulty. Okay, I think you know enough to tackle the third section of problems on the workbook. But remember, no cheating. You will learn nothing if you look at the answers before you try the problems. Only look at the answers after you are done. Note, all answers in the back of the workbook are written out step by step. Once you have finished those problems, then you are ready to try the fourth video, adding two fractions where the two denominators have nothing in common. Like this example, 1/7 minus 3/5. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please tell others about it. If you have any comments, you may send them to me at comments@adreamforabetterworld.com. While it is free, I do hope you will consider making a donation to us so we can continue to make more of these videos. Please make your donation by using PayPal and using our email address donation@adreamforabetterworld.com. To use PayPal, just visit www.paypal.com. It is a free and safe service to send money. Thank you for watching.